everybody. Welcome to Tipsy Testing, and we appreciate your flexibility as we've been holding it on Thursday these last few weeks. Today, we're joined by Anna Royzman, and it is great to have her with us. Anna is a renowned international keynote speaker and recognized expert in software testing and test leadership. Anna held various test management roles for over 14 years and served as the executive at large on Association for Software Testing's board of directors, as the president of AST Quality Leader SIG, and as the Software Test Professionals Community Advisory Board member. All right, let's launch into this week's questions. Could you give some advice for someone just starting out in testing? And Anna, can we start with you?
With me?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Go online and meet the community. You know, there is different forums, there is Twitter, there is different conferences. They all go online right now. And I suggest that you meet people. It's really good to learn from other people about testing. And it's really good to be excited about testing, learning from other people as well. So I would say online community is your best bet right now.
Would you have made the same recommendation a year ago?
I would make a recommendation to go to conferences. So I would still say find your fellow testers, and this is how you get better at what you do, online or in person.
So it's just the medium at this point, but the advice
I
is the same. Adam, do you have anything to add to that?
I'm just thinking about the economy right now, because obviously the economy is not, especially in America, but I think worldwide, is not in very good shape. So one of the challenges for people coming out into testing is not only are you getting into potentially a new field, but you're also joining at the worst time in one of the economic cycles in the last 10, 20 years. So if you're coming out of school, having done a computer science degree or a testing qualification, you're now trying to get a job. It's one is to find the right people, but I think also the struggle is just people aren't necessarily hiring. So one of the things you might consider doing is, can you volunteer to help someone out? Find a charity or a nonprofit that's launching a new website or some contact tracing application that needs to be crowd tested. Can you just volunteer, get some experience? And if that works out, those people are going to be more inclined to help you. You'll make contacts. So as things start to get better, there's a good chance you'll be in the front of the line. So I think offer to help, do what you can, practice the craft as well as learning and meeting people. But do what you can, I think, to get involved in a sort of grassroots sort of ninja style is what I would recommend, as well as everything Anna said.
How do you overcome the fear of failure when you need to start doing or learning something new? And what do you do with procrastination?
I don't usually worry about failing, actually. People fear doing things because they say they don't do them and then they don't get better at things. So his idea was do something and expect to fail. And when you fail, you learn from it. So it's almost like you plan to fail because you're learning something new, and you look at it that way, like, oh, I learned something new today rather than I failed. If you change it from I failed to I didn't succeed fully and I learned this for next time, you're more likely to seek out things that challenge you. And I think the other thing I remember from my days of consulting was that there was the three circles: the comfort zone, the stretch zone, and the panic zone. You can spend your entire life in the sort of comfort zone doing things you're good at. You have to every day seek to do things that you don't know how to do, but you mustn't do so many things you don't know how to do that you end up panicking and learning nothing. So you want to be in that middle zone. So I think seek those out. And then for procrastination, I'm a big believer when you start something, and it's easier to do things when you've started. So just start, save it, come back the next day fresh, but don't wait for it to be perfect and don't wait for the perfect moment.
find a partner, find a friend, talk it over. You don't need to agree, but listen to somebody. That's to me is a good way to overcome the fear. Procrastination. My suggestion is get excited about what you need to do. Get yourself in the mood. Sometimes you need to sleep over it. What I sometimes do is I do it like before, like a day before. I put those things on a list and then I sleep with them. And then when I wake up, I'm ready to kind of conquer it. This is one of the things that I do. Kind of plan ahead and then psych yourself for it. Excite yourself.
Anna, let's start with you. What does testing look like 5 years from now and 10 years from now?
It will be much more automation assisted, I would say. I would not say it's automated, no. You still need human interaction, but there will be more assistance that I think right now we kind of come into that. To me, robots are the future. And to me, like the robots and cobots, you know what cobots, it's kind of human robot interaction. And cobots to me is also the future in testing as well. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cooperative robots. Cobots is cooperative robots. It's something that, for example, instead of you like building a house, being there, you operate the robots from far away, and it builds the house with your hands, kind of. It's the cooperation between the machine and the human. And I think that's really is where the future is, you know. It's like this kind of technology that allows you to test anywhere.
Adam, what do you think?
This week we had to deal with one of our applications with an annoying problem where something broke in a browser that we shall not name, but we will name it. But so I think in 10 years' time, we'll still be testing on IE11 because of bloody Microsoft.
Absolutely, you will.
I was reading a blog yesterday called The Immortal Browser, and it said, yeah, because of this, because everyone's built their apps to run on IE11, we're still be testing it. In 10 years' time, we'll still be testing it. Big institutional companies like the ones that Anna was mentioning with the big data applications, a lot of them are using IE11 because it was all standardized and
Oh,
the apps, the developers are gone, they can't reprogram it, they don't know how to. So we're like stuck in this sort of stasis, you know? So it's kind of, the technology moves on, but yeah, we're stuck with the decisions and some of the things that were done from the past. So I think testing will, like everything, testing will change into the future, and we'll have the vestiges and sort of the things in the past that we have to deal with. No one wants to invest in the future until they have to. And that'll be true in 10 years' time, unfortunately.
What are the biggest challenges to conference planning and organizing given the current circumstances?
Online learning is missing certain components of in face-to-face learning. The learning is happening on different levels. There is something that you hear, there is something that you see, there is something that you feel, there is something how you move. When you're online, you kind of miss like 3/4 of that experience. So the challenges right now, what I'm seeing is how to what to make out of what we have and make it as exciting as it used to be. So I think we need to experiment and we need to develop like different tools and different platforms. It's not going to be the same, but it couldn't be where we used to be in 2019.
Tell us why you're doing all this research on conference platforms right now.
So I do something very experimental. We starting next week. I invite everybody to join us. 2 presentations per day, several times a day for different formats, different time zones, and interactive sessions as well. So I want to bring much more of the interactive format, what you mentioned, the hallway conversation, what you mentioned, the groups. Definitely something that like that we're gonna try as well. 2020 should be the year where you learn something new, and COVID-19 should be the only thing. It shouldn't be the only thing you learn this year. So that's the conference I'm doing. It's called Test Leadership Congress 2020. Thank you.
Where can we go to learn more about your conference?
You start with testmastersacademy.org and then you follow the links.
Well, best of luck to you next week. It was great chatting with you.
Good luck.
And
Thank you very much.
Hopefully I'll see you in New York in person in a year or two when we can.
Okay.
that would be great. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.